All right, it's time to get busy here on the budget rally car. I got to pull this front bumper off. I also got to add some bracing to it. I don't know what's actually holding it on. As I move the bumper, the whole headlight moves on both sides. This side's worse. And I also need to add some grill, some mesh. So I'm gonna pull this bumper off and also do the rear because the rear is pretty janky as well. Fun. That bumper was held on by two bolts. Well, in typical fashion, when you inherit someone else's project, you inherit their problems. While I was digging into fastening the front bumper a little bit more securely, I noticed that the radiator was sitting a little high and the cap here was hitting the hood. So upon further investigation, I realized the radiator is not seated where it should be seated, probably because the front end of this car has been mangled from a previous crash. All this is so bent up and mangled that I'm gonna have to create some new holes for the radiator to sit in, which this side I was able to get to sit fairly nice and lowered it, but now as you can see this side is higher than this side. So I want to drill a new hole for this little tab for the radiator to sit in because it's all mangled up under here anyway, and later down the road I'll probably put a new front clip on this car, but for now we're gonna fix it and send it. See that little spot right there? I'm just gonna drill a hole right there so that it kind of falls down and we could get this thing securely fastened. Look at that. Now it's time to address other issues that I'm finding with this car, like these front fenders, wings as you call them over there in the UK. Also, there's a really peculiar gap here between the headlight and the front fender, so I'm gonna have to throw some spacers in there and drill some new holes so that the headlight actually is in by more than one bolt. Okay, I got the fenders mounted up properly. They're secure, both of them. And how ironic is it that I have the emblem from the project kit that I traded for this car? Pretty symbolic. I also took the time to clean up the engine bay. I have an eye-wire ground kit that I'm going to be adding to it, along with a cob intake and a couple other things, like I need to get a power steering bracket, a new alternator because someone painted this one and the grounds are probably all jacked up. Added the elastic tie down. I also added my Lassic Rally Sport Rock Blocks front lower rally lip. I think it's safe to say the front end is all wrapped up. Fortunately, this car came with the 6-over crest rear seat deletes. Fun fact, I actually helped design these deletes back in the day. We have the door card. This is the Gen 1 door card. It doesn't have the window switch and lock switch, so I'll be cutting out a small rectangle here. If I have to, I'll cut a hole out in the door structure here. Window switch turned out awesome. Another fun fact is I had something to do with Tom at Cartboy making these McStrappies. And fortunate for me, I had some in stock in my garage. Voila! Looking good, man. Yeah, we gotta fix that. I made some aluminum L brackets that I'm gonna attach right here. Okay, now it's time to yank these 17-inch advans off and pull the STI calipers. We're gonna be replacing them with these 0607 WRX calipers. The reason being is because these calipers will allow you to run a 15-inch wheel, which is required for a rally tire. Okay. Also, if you're doing this conversion, keep in mind there's not a lot of options out for rotors. These are K&S. They're made by DBA, and these do have the multi 5x100 and 5x114 lug patterns, so they just slide right on. And my good buddy Tom from Cartboy makes these adapter brackets, and we don't even need these. What we do need is Allen head bolts that fit into the new WRX calipers. Okay. Shout out to Subaru Mods for coming through with the Hawk pads, quick and fast with the delivery. Tighten these bad boys up, throw in some rock blocks, mud flaps. Put the method wheels on with the fresh Hoosier rally tires. It's almost time to send it. You ever notice when you hold a pen cap in your mouth and you bite down on it, it triggers your gag reflexes? Try it. All right, so I have these mud flaps on now. I made this bracket here on both sides. So Paris is gonna come out, she's gonna help me bleed the brakes. And then once I get the brakes bled, I'm gonna raise the suspension up, probably a good inch or so, and then throw the method wheels back on that I found on Facebook Marketplace. Thank goodness, because they no longer make them. Okay, that side's good. All right, who's ready for some arts and craft? Since there's no real material for me to attach these rock block mud flaps to right here, and it's fiberglass, I will be attaching these to the outer part of this fender, which is gonna really annoy a lot of people out there, but this is a race car. This has got to be strong enough to withhold to pretty severe conditions. Now I just need to make a bracket that goes from that bolt to there. It's good until it's not. Okay, last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil because I do not know what's inside that motor. So, better safe than sorry. Always use the OEM Subaru oil filter. Okay, oil is done and changed. There she is. The offset is pretty spot on. The ride height, I'm not too sure of. I'll probably take it for a little rip. But I'm not mad at it. Now I did take off these side skirts just because they were only held on with self-tapping screws, and maybe 4 or 5 of them. So I'm not sure I'll put them back on, but I feel like they're just gonna get riddled with rocks and just blast off and just disintegrate. Well, I got the car somewhat ready for a little shakedown. Hoonigan is hosting an event out here in Temecula, which was only like 45 minutes away from my house. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
How you been?
Good. Guys, Bucky has a truck and a trailer, and he finally has a beater rally car. Like, I've been telling this guy since we went to Texas.
I know.
I was watching you sit there, and I was like, Bucky, build a beater, dude. Let's go drive.
It's so hard to build a beater, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, because you fall in love with it, and then you don't want it to get hurt. But, like, just beat it up, because it's fine.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
You can fix it.
It doesn't have fender liners. It doesn't have suspension. It has a misfire. Yeah.
You get the cruise check engine light pops on this thing, or you don't
all
have that?
It's a full-on Christmas tree on that thing, dude. You just
Subarus just kind of are, huh?
it runs, and we're gonna send it.
Luckily, the boys out here, Wyatt's here from Team O'Neill. He's over there. What's up, dude? He cut a super sick track and laid something out here at the HOONIGAN Ranch, and everything's well groomed, so you should be pretty good. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just have some fun.
Oh, we're gonna do
Shakedown.
that.
Private track for Shakedown.
Perfect, dude.
When do you get that opportunity?
Never. All right, let's unload her. Pretty hyped. Made it this far. It's off the trailer. It's here. All right, we're about to go do a recce lap here at the HOONIGAN Ranch and see the course for the first time. It feels so weird just having a lap belt on. We're chilling. We're taking it easy.
It does
Guys,
feel a little weird.
We're just doing a little recce. I'll probably slowly start picking up the pace, but you'll never see me go 100%. I'm thinking maybe 75% at tops, just to shake the car down and see what the limitations are with the car and what we might have to go home and fix. We already know suspension, cage, seats, harness. We're just here to see how this car performs. We also know it needs a smaller turbo, a better tune, a more drivable tune.
Yeah.
Right now, it's more like a two-stroke where it's like no power, and then all of a sudden, once you get past the 4,000 RPM misfire, then it's just game on. It's like too much power. But right now, let's see how she does.
Hey, Bucky, on you. All good, send her.
if I took the sway bars off of it, get some
nose in it.
little body roll, you know, so I can set it up better because it's so stiff.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No. Oh, I love the turbo sound though.
So right now what I'm doing is disconnecting the front and rear sway bar. Everything just feels bound up right now, so I just need more compliance. All right, well.
Just so they're not. Oh. Yeah.
Good thing I know somebody. Well, that's a wrap here at the Hoonigan Ranch. Good old Bucky's beater rally car actually did really well. I blew out both left side struts, had a little bit of an overboost issue, disconnected the sway bars, got a little bit more compliance in it. A lot of bias to the front brake right now, so I got to get rid of that. But overall, she was so much fun to drive. I know what I need to fix, and it's time to take her home and prep her for, when are we doing this again, guys? When are we doing this again?
Whenever you want. ASAP.
Don't tell me that. Wyatt was my lead technician today, along with Paris. Thank you. Such a good time. I got a rally car.